All right, and we are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays, kicking off 2020. Took a nice day off yesterday, and we are back at it today. All right, we got the live chat going. Thank you, Martin, for your nice comment and a little donation. Yes, let's have a nice and healthy 2030, not 2020. That is funny, though. But yes, let's wish everyone good health and good fortune, especially in their trading for the next decade. 2020 into 2030 is, of course, going to be very, very interesting. I can't wait. It felt like the last decade moved fairly quickly. And while there has been some decent advancements in technology, the still a little disappointed. Self-driving cars aren't here yet. The cell phones, your iPhones were around in 2007, I believe. Android came out a few years later. Really thought there'd be a lot more we can do with our tech. And I think the next decade is going to drive us there. You can see the background behind me. Unconfiscatable. This is the time to start focusing now that the year is over. There is a little under 2 months before the conference will really kick off. Let's go straight to screen share. Hope everyone had an awesome New Year's. Everyone had fun. And now it's time to get back to reality. All right, screen share, and here we go. All right, speaking of Unconfiscatable, go to unconfiscatable.com and register for your ticket. I'm going to try and get maybe 1 or 2 key speakers, and then we are all set. This is a 1 full day conference, early in the morning to the evening. It'll be jam-packed with awesome panels, and then the poker game takes place Sunday, plus the workshops before. We will have some more sponsors for you and our media partners, Cointelegraph, AMB Crypto, Cryptocurrency Wire is a media partner. We have a couple of sponsors. Paxful is already in. We have a coffee sponsor, and about 3 more logos are about to show up. Thank you so much. Those that are helping sponsor the event. The Financial Summit is also on sale. I'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. This is for the traders, serious traders. All right, check that out. Hey, I did an awesome interview. Actually, I did the interview back in October, but it just aired. The interview has just aired yesterday as a live premiere. This was during the conference with the famous Craig Wright picture. So check that out. The link is in the video description, guys. Check it out. I talk a lot about Unconfiscatable and other Bitcoin properties. Okay, I'll sneeze there for a second. Let's go to the charts. The monthly chart we have turned over into a new month. This is regular candles, not Heikin-Ashi candles. The reason I was using Heikin-Ashi candles on monthly charts is because it lined up much better with sequential. Tops on a 9, bottoms on a 9. Didn't do that with regular candles. Looking at regular candles, however, here's what I'm still finding a little bit troublesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now working on a 7th consecutive months of lower monthly highs. Not as bad on the lower monthly lows. There was a break in the action right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lower monthly lows, but this month has just started, so we don't know if we're going to have a lower monthly low. This is your trend. This is the bird's eye view, the most zoomed out view looking at the monthly chart. And while it's looking a lot better than my expectation of where we would be going into January 1st, and then when I was looking at this expectation, this was back almost a year ago now. So sometime around April, I was looking for a much bigger pullback and for the lows to be made around this time. I was looking for those lows to be under $3,000. Obviously, we are way above that, but the current trend is still down. I anticipated the trend to be down all the way into the halving. Now, you can see this gray candle here, right? So I anticipated the trend to be down from May of last year into about June, July of this year. So a year's worth of downtrend. Now, May was a big up month and June was a big up month. But since then, the trend remained down. So while we are way above my expected price back almost a year ago now, we are at the trend. I got the trend right, not the price right. So do with that what you will. But I am still skeptical. I need the price to prove to me that we are ready for a bull market. Once we broke this trend line here to the upside, look, this upside lasted longer and went higher than I expected. I am the first to admit that. But since then, we have spent over 6 months now trending down. Well, almost 6 months trending down. If you look at the current week is now back below a Fibonacci level. I don't know how critical this Fibonacci level is. I'm not that interested in it. What I'm more interested in right now is the fact that we are below 2 moving averages, even though only one of them is declining. And my other concern is the price action itself. We are almost at a new 6-month low weekly close. Now, the week still has a few days to go. Anything can happen. But if we close lower than, what is this? Than 7,000 for this week, this would be the second lowest weekly close for since a while ago, right? It will be the second lowest weekly close since about, since April of last year. That is not a good sign, guys. That's not a good sign. And it would be just 6 months of overall downtrend. All right, let me look at your live chat for a second here. Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Excellent background. Thank you. Hash rate's looking good. I'll glance at the hash rate. This is your year, Tone, probably the best one. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I do think that Bitcoin is going to finally bottom out this year. It will probably be a higher low than 3,000. Probably. Doesn't the very fact that in theory all Bitcoin can be destroyed during burning private keys means that one day Bitcoin will go to zero? I doubt it. I mean, there's enough people that know what they're doing, and Bitcoin won't go to zero, right? Because as private keys get burned, the Bitcoin that remains in circulation becomes more valuable. So if anything, we will be Bitcoin will just be, more denominated, like one Satoshi will be worth more money. Tether is an exit scam sooner or later. Tether requires its own discussion and podcast again. Do you think Tether, do you think they will ban Tether or shut down Bitfinex? I don't know. We will see how the court case goes. I mean, Bitfinex is still around. They have good lawyers. I don't know. What I know is that I don't have a problem with Bitfinex because they don't have a scam coin. They're not Binance. I'd rather see Binance shut down than Bitfinex. I am a bigger critic of Binance because Binance created an unlicensed illegal security in the form of money with the Binance token. I am very consistent on this. I have a big problem with Binance because I think they did something, to give them an unfair competitive advantage. Bitfinex didn't do that. Now, Bitfinex may be, doing something shady in the, on their back end. I don't know. I don't have access to, their private meetings or the CEO's, private messages. But I personally have a bigger problem with Binance than I do with Bitfinex. And yes, Bitfinex does own Tether. All right. What's the best stable coin then? I don't like any of them. They all have the risks. Every single stable coin has a risk. The best stable coin is Bitcoin. One Bitcoin will always be worth one Bitcoin. If you're willing to hold through the bear market, the best stable coin is Bitcoin. It'll always be worth one Bitcoin. I agree, Crypto Hash. No one knows if Tether is going away or not. Bitcoin to the moon. Happy New Year to you as well. Mary Fox, Happy New Year to you as well. Yes, Liam. Shout out. Well, will I buy Hex? Absolutely not. Why would I buy that nonsense? It's a scam coin from Richard Hart. Does anyone worry about the total number of active addresses staying stagnant for the last 2 years? Where in the 2015 bear market, the active addresses were increasing even with a decline in price. I would need to take a look at those charts. Next time I talk to Willy Woo, I'll try and remind them. Look at the stagnant addresses. That is interesting. I need to look at a chart. Like I can't speculate like that. But good point, Danny. All right, let's get back to the charts, guys. Yeah, Happy New Year, Gabriel. Hey, Tom, can you pull up this indicator on the weekly BLX? Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. I don't know that one. Let me see. I'm curious. And then we go to the daily chart. Got 500 live viewers. Excellent. Well, what do we got here? This is the short term. That's GBTC. Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. I'm not sure what you mean, actually. Yeah, I don't think I can because I'm not sure what you mean. I know BLX. I mean, I use it for my monthly charts. I don't really use it for the weekly charts because BLX only updates daily. So if I'm using the weekly charts and the daily charts, that means the price is from like 12 hours ago, and that's not very useful to me at the moment. All right, let's go back to the weekly chart. I keep reminding you guys that even though price is most important, the oscillators are useful. We can see how the RSI is not in a good zone right now. The RSI really reminds me of this area here. Because if I connect the lines, I'm going to delete these, but I'm just going to connect the lines. I'm just going to use blue. You fall straight down, and then you make a reasonable, like, these to me look very similar right there. Almost at the same level, too. And then these to me look also very similar right there. Similar level, too. And then you go up a little bit. And we didn't even go up as much. And then there is another slightly lower low coming, right? Or maybe this one is it. Or maybe the next one will be there, right? And then we bounce again, and we hang in there, and then we crater. So I am still looking for this. I am still looking for this to repeat. Is it going to repeat exactly the same way? Probably not. But I can see this repeating. And I can see the RSI going further, actually. Going like that. Because everything else seems to be a little bit further, right? Like if this matches, and then this matches, and then this on a weekly scale RSI will potentially match with something here. Something after the halving, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe before the halving, maybe after the halving. I don't know, okay? But I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for an oversold RSI condition. Let's look at the MACD. The MACD is not looking good either, right? The MACD may consolidate like what happened here. This was the consolidation 6,000, and then we crashed down to 3, and then we rose, okay? I still think that's coming. Where will that low be as far as price is concerned? I'm not sure. It's too early to tell. And the CMF is not looking good. This is a while we're sitting here in CMF. Look at the now, granted, we already started rising here. And the CMF was still in bad shape, but we're not rising yet. and the CMF is in bad shape. So your oscillators are telling you to be concerned. And so is the price action. We have a red 2 that has not yet gone below a red 1. And even though this was a green 2 going above a green 1, activating a bullish trade, that should have been, you take your loss. You take your very minor loss too. So where did this cross into a bullish trade? At 75. When did the candle close? At 74-ish, right? So that's when you say, hey, I'm going to lose $150 or between $100 and $200 on the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to get out of this trade because it closes a red 1, and red 1 tells you to be in cash. And then you take on a short trade potentially in the very near future. Now, the low last week was 7,052. The low this week is 7,070. So it has not yet activated the short trade with a red 2 below a red 1 on the weekly. Okay. Before we get to the daily, hey guys, check out tonevays.com if you want to support this YouTube channel for 2020. So I can continue be enthusiastic and bring you live free videos. Please check out the affiliate page on tonevays.com if you're going to subscribe to TradingView or TorGuard VPN, or you're going to trade. I have US compliant exchanges like LVL and eToro. Also exchanges that are not friendly to the US residents. So check your jurisdiction accordingly. Bybit, Deribit. Kraken is US friendly as well. You can check that one out, and a few others. All right, so go ahead and check that out. All right, daily chart. Oh, we pulled back up a little bit. This wasn't looking too good earlier this morning when I woke up and started looking at the charts. But it's still a red 3 going below a red 2. So according to the daily scale, a short trade, according to sequential, activated the moment we crossed below 71.50. So once we crossed below 71.50, a short trade, according to sequential, got activated. And I do think that Bitcoin will go lower than 6,500. I've continued to say it ever since we bounced off 6,500. Now, this bounce was callable because of a 9, and I was bullish at these lows of 6,500 because of the daily sequential 9. Now we're kicking off at 3. Also, it's interesting of note that the current red 3 is lower than the last red 3 that we had that kicked off this move down that bottomed at a 9. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't look too much into the sequential for the 13. That's coming probably in a few candles. But at the moment, the daily chart is certainly bearish. All the moving averages are down, and they're continuing to decline. Overall, when you zoom out the daily view, you are trending down. Now, the oscillators on the daily were bullish, but I believe they are about to flip. A few more days of downside and the MACD will no longer be bullish and bearish. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the MACD when it's below the 0 line. I like having my MACD increasing and above the 0 line for me to really be bullish. We are below the 0 line, so we're only partially bullish on the MACD as it's rising. But if it crosses over in the next few days, that becomes bearish. The RSI, oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, what happened there? I want this to go lower and lower and lower and lower. There we go. Okay, RSI. RSI is still rising. You know, it's giving you shorter term higher highs and higher lows, but on a larger picture, it's lower highs and potentially higher lows. So the RSI is kind of neutral right now, not really helping you out very much. The CMF does not look good. That looks pretty damn bearish. The BitMEX funding rate is favoring the bulls at the moment. So that is interesting. That because more people are short than long, but not as much as before. And this is another version of the BitMEX funding rate, and this one actually favors the bears. I don't know how they're calculating them. They're different. I like it when they're both aligned, and like something like this, here and here, good indication. Something like this, here and the red there, good indication. All right. 12-hour chart, not very interesting. 4-hour chart, not very interesting. The stock market's open. We're going to go and take a look at that. You know what? Not going to talk about that today. Max. Here we go. Wow, look at the hash rate. I'm going to refresh this actually. So it's a sharper image. Wow, look at the hash rate. Hash rate is still inclined. This is a good sign, guys. I still need to write up that article of my outlook for 2020. Haven't gotten the chance to yet. Sorry about that. You can pull up on a non-BLX weekly, but it works best with the BLX weekly chart. Yeah, but what? What are we looking at? Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. All right, let me see. I'll give it a shot. Logarithmic. I probably do Bitcoin. Oh, I see it. I see it. Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. There it is. All right. I'm going to put it on the monthly chart, and then I'm going to flip that chart to. I have no idea what this thing does, by the way, which is always a danger for me to do that because I don't want to promote scams. And I don't know if this is a scam or not. And I don't know if the person is a scammer or not because I have no idea. So that's the danger in. I still have no idea what this does. I don't see it as an indicator. Because a lot of people watch this channel and they're going to want to do what I do. So I don't like pulling up stuff that I'm not aware of. So I don't know what this is. I can switch this to a weekly chart. I don't see it as an indicator. I don't see where it shows up. It just shows me numbers. But I don't know what these numbers mean because I'm not familiar with the indicator. And if I double click on this, I don't see the indicator. So I have no idea what it does. And I should not be doing it on live air. So there you go. So I don't know what this is, and it's irrelevant if I don't know what it is. So there you go. I tried, and I have no idea what it is. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it is. Well, you're gonna get my thoughts that right now. My thoughts on the Bitcoin logarithmic growth indicators that it just wasted 2 minutes of my time because I don't know what it is, and you want me to look at it on live air. And those are my thoughts. All right, guys. If you have something interesting you really want me to look at. I don't know how you're going to do it because I would need to start consulting again because my time is precious and valuable. The best way to do it is if you have something that is very, very interesting and it's making you a lot of money, you want to attend the financial summit. There's even a section here where if you want to share a trading strategy that is not yet monetized, we will give you a discount to attend. This is where you want to be. You want to talk to people that are smarter than me, which is many people that attend this event are smarter than me. You want to hang out with these people for a week. That's where you want to be. If you have come up with something innovative in the world of trading, this is the conference for you. And it's the price point to attend keeps the nonsense out. Everyone there is very serious, very driven, and pretty high net worth and a good damn trader. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be talking about these things. This is going to be an amazing event for the years to come. Okay, let's look at, yeah, I really like the mining hash rate. That's great. My biggest positive from 2019. Not interesting, not interesting, not interesting. Let's go to, I don't really care about altcoins today. Let's go straight to the S&P. Oh, you know what? Gold's rising. Gold's rising. Gold's bullish. Look, you have 3 moving averages. They're all rising. Gold's rising. I don't know why it's rising, but it's rising. If it breaks that up trend, gold can really take off here. So do I think gold should be rising? No. Would I be in a long trade in gold? Yes, even though I don't understand why it would. Kind of bottomed on the candle after a 9. That was interesting. And this triangle is no longer relevant. It gave you a nice little head fake. And now we're breaking prior swing highs. This is the weekly 5 of 9. Moving averages are about to cross over. Gold's fully bullish. I would be comfortable holding a long in gold, even though I don't really understand why it's rising. Maybe it's because the dollar is falling. We will see. I'm not going to make up a reason as to why gold's rising from a fundamental perspective. I would think that gold would be falling from a fundamental perspective, but speculation trumps fundamentals. And the speculation in gold right now is saying jump in a bullish trade. In Bitcoin, it's not saying that. The chart isn't telling me to be long Bitcoin, but the chart is telling me to be long gold, even though fundamentally, I think it should be lower. Same thing with Bitcoin. Both fundamentally and technically, it should be lower at the moment. I don't believe the dollar is rolling over. I think the dollar is going to start rising soon, and that would probably drop the price of gold. So I would, while being long gold seems to be the trade according to TA, I wouldn't get too comfortable with that trade. S&P is about to close at a brand new all-time high on a daily. That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. The weekly chart, let's look at it. Hit a 9, had a green 1 following a 9, which for me is not a good entry into the long trade. Let the sequential update. And this week, it's a green 2 above a green 1 above the 9. There are the moving averages. My only problem with the S&P right now is that it's so overextended. But if your retirement account is long stock market, keep it long. I don't see a concern here. Wait for the concern. We could have another huge run up into the Trump election, into the Trump re-election. So, man, it's bullish. Did this week go higher than last week? Last week's high, 3220.5. This week's high, 32. Oh, wait. No, wait. That's the close. Sorry. What's the high? 3247.9. Yeah, we went higher already this week. Though this week is almost over. It's a holiday week. You know what? I take that back. I wouldn't trade it. Just wait till next week. It's a holiday week. You should be on vacation. Take a break. You can always get back in. Aaron, thank you for a little tip. Let's take a look. Can you take a quick look at the chart of Virgin Galactic? Ooh, I'm curious. I am curious about Virgin Galactic. I'm also really curious about Roku. The reason why I'm curious about Roku is because in my options course a few weeks ago, we actually we spent like the last half an hour or more of the class after like the last half an hour of a 15-hour course talking about this trade on Roku. And as long as this trade stays between these purple lines, it's profitable. And the closer it is to the purple line on January 23rd, the more profitable the trade is. Very complicated spread. And I'm really curious how this trade works out. I'm also curious about Tesla. Tesla topped on a 9. I believe the 1-4 candle correction is over. And we're starting to go up. So if you took out your short trade off the 9 and 13, it's time to take that profit and get out. Okay, probably should have been time to take your profit and get out before the holiday at the end of the year. No reason to hold through New Year's, ever, any stock. Virgin Galactic, yeah. Let's look at that. Ooh, it's coming up on an, oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful 9 at the low. Not as good of a 9 at the high. Went higher, right? So what do you do when you have a 9 on a huge up candle and there's no reversal? Well, you can take your profit and then you get back in on a green 2 above a green 1. So you're back in the long trade. You're about to have a double 9 next week, but there's also a countdown back here, right? So I am still bullish. We'll see tomorrow. I'm going to add that to my list. I want to keep an eye on that. Hey, let's add this to the notification service. I know the person's watching. All right, guys, I need to get going. Let me glance through your live chat real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. Don't forget, if you want to support, I'll still take another question or two. If you want to support, please check out the affiliate page of tonevays.com. There's really no workshops coming up other than the ones in Las Vegas. I think I'm going to, I don't think there's going to be many workshops in 2020, maybe a few webinars. But Giacomo and Socrates are teaching workshops at Unconfiscatable. Speaking of Unconfiscatable, tickets are on sale, only $250. We would make it cheaper if we could, but unfortunately, we can't. So we have 50 tickets left at this price. Come down, come to Vegas. It's an awesome time. Awesome time. And the Financial Summit is also on sale for the Dominican Republic. Okay. What was the last thing I was going to do? I was going to look at your live chat. Let's see. Logarithmic growth curves are white and your background is white. That's why you didn't see them. Ah, that explains it then. That explains it. All right, I'll try this one more time. Let's try it one more time. Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. My backgrounds are white. That's why I don't see them. Okay, I'm going to change the growth curve. Oh, but I can't change each one, right? I can change the background color, I guess. Let's do that. Appearance. Where's my background color? There it is. Can make it gray. Let's do this. Let's do this. Actually, no, not that. Didn't mean to do that. That sucks. That's what I meant. Okay, it looks interesting, but here's my minor problem. It looks great until it doesn't look great. And if the price goes below the lower logarithmic curve, then this no longer looks great and you have to redo it all, right? I mean, I guess the logarithmic growth curve would just be more depressed, right? So I do think that over time, this will probably make a new low. We will go below the low logarithmic growth curve. And therefore, all of this will just be less bullishy, right? So that means that the top one is gonna, not rise as fast, and the bottom one will not rise as fast. It will just get, a little more like this. So it'll get, a little more flattened out. That's all. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, I don't really. It looks like it's called the bottom, but remember, these things will adjust. They will adjust, right? So right now, it looks like the perfect trade right off of that. But if you go lower, if you go down to, let's say, 6,000, this is no longer perfect and everything will get readjusted. See, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of these kinds of things, because they always look right, and then the price changes, and then all of this changes. And then in hindsight, it will always look right. This is my problem with the Elliott wave theory. This is my problem with many things. Like, for example, look at the moving average. The moving average bounced the price perfectly. The moving average rejected the price perfectly. But over here, the moving average is not really doing anything. We're kind of in the middle here doing nothing. It doesn't even matter what moving average this is. But the point is that no matter what happens to price in the future, no matter what happens to price in the year 2021, the price's relation to this blue moving average in November of 2019 will not change. It will look exactly the same. And these are that's the kind of TA that I like, because these logarithmic growth lines, if the price of Bitcoin goes down to 5,000, all of this will go away. All of these lines will go away, and there will be new lines that will look absolutely perfect backwards in history. And I hate TA that does that. I don't pay attention to it. I need TA that looks like that the way it looks today is exactly how it's going to look in 10 years from now, looking back at today. And things like this don't do that, okay? And this is the same problem I have with Elliott waves and why I never use Elliott waves in my trading, because they always look perfect in going backwards into history. Okay, I hope that explains it. It's a little bit hard. My old boss on Wall Street used to love that whenever you try to make fit something perfect and it looks great, he'd always use the term this is great, but when you stop mentally masturbating, let's get back to reality and look at the current situation. So that's why I don't like any technical analysis that can change looking backwards in history based on the current price today. And that's an example of that. What I am finding interesting is the stop and reverse points on the weekly are close to breaking to the upside here. Interesting. So if the price doesn't break down soon, we will break the stop and reverse point, in which case there could be a bullish trade on a weekly. Very interesting. All right, guys, that's it for me. Sorry I couldn't get to all of your questions. We just watched a live stream of Roger Ver where he was supposedly doing that send me 1 BCH and I will send you back. Oh, God. No, that's a scam. That's a scam, guys. That's not Roger. That's a scam of a scam. I know it's getting bad. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't have time to look at. I gotta get going. I see a lot of people want me to look at currencies. People want me to look at Bitfinex has a scam coin called Leo. Do they? I don't even know. It's hard to keep track of all these scam coins. Does Bitfinex have a scam coin called Leo? If they do, then I don't like them as much as I don't like Binance. I'd have to look at that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, Unconfiscatable. Boom, right there. Up on sale. Amazing conference in Vegas with a poker game. Come join us. Also, earlier in the show, I mentioned an interview that I did. Check that out as well. And I will see you all guys on the next one.